Hey everybody, this is RRPG here, and welcome to your weekend update, and that's happening in the world of gaming. Unfortunately, I do not have any brand new things to talk about Operation Rainfall at the moment, as things are kind of being kept hush-hush. I mean, they just reported that somebody at Nintendo of America commented about the situation, but they wish to remain hush-hush about the whatever it was they were talking about, so I'm not going to, go into ground details about that. But anyway, what I am going to talk about is two new campaigns that I've recently just shown my support towards, and they are for PS3 RPGs, relating to one series. And I'm talking about Namco's Tales of series with the games Tales of Vesperia and Tales of Xillia. There are some legion of fans out there on the internet who are, rallying up in inspiration of Operation Rainfall for them to want to get the games Tales of Vesperia and Tales of Xillia localized over here in North America. Well, for Tales of Vesperia, that's definitely a strong cause, but for Tales of Xillia, that's a game that's still in development right at this moment, so it's hard to say, where Namco Tales Studio is or Namco Bandai itself is planning on doing with the franchise, whether if they have any plans to localize it or not. I would say they would, but that's kind of early to say at the moment. But here's what I do know about the Tales of Vesperia and Tales of Xillia campaigns. Let's start with Tales of Vesperia. Now, instead of, going through talking about a lot of stuff, I'm just going to show you this little trailer at first, and then I will get your guys' opinion on what you think of it. So, enjoy it, and I shall be back in about a minute, guys.
話はまとまった？俺は有利だ。お前名前は？パーティーなのじゃ。パーティーか。
I mean, just look at that for a trailer. How awesome does the message convey that we want that game over here? Now, from what I know about Tales of Vesperia in the localization, I did take a look at VesperiaPS3's campaign website. It's on Blogspot, and I'll provide a link in the description. But basically, the PS3 version includes tons of extra content not included in the original Xbox 360 version. And I'll list off some of the things that they have included in the PS3 version that's not present in the original. There is, the game features full voice acting, which is about double the size of the voice acting script than the original 360 version. It also features various new characters as, permanent and playable, like Flynn, Yuri's childhood friend, as well as a new character named Patty Fleur, or Fleur, or whatever, and it's entirely new, and there are several unplayable characters from the movie Tales of Vesperia: The Third Strike that actually make an appearance, as this game has more tie-ins with that movie than the original did, because, the original was made first, and then First Strike came out back last year, I think? I can't remember. But in addition to that, there's also some on-screen avatars for Rapide, Flynn, and Patty, with new minigames, such as a racing minigame for Rapide, with new subplots, skits, and main game quests, as well as side quests. The game also has new songs added to the game's soundtrack, together with remodeled towns and new towns and dungeons. This game also includes new bosses, such as the Sword Dancer from the previous Tales games, as well as Don Whitehorse and Clint, Tyson, and Nan, people of the Hunters Guild, or the Hunting Blades Guild, or whatever it's called. And you can also replay boss fights at the Namco Bandai Isle, which is a play on words to the company name Namco Bandai. In addition, there's also some new gameplay elements, such as higher overlevel limits up to 8. There's more Mystic Arts, including a brand new Mystic Art system called the Dual Mystic Arts, where two characters can use Mystic Arts on their enemies, as well as some new arts, playing in general, as well as skills and equipment for characters. A new key item has also been added called the Arts Ball, which allows an additional 8 art shortcuts to be assigned to the previous 8 slots combined with the L1 button, which allows for a maximum of 16 arts. The game also features a wide variety of new character costumes, which include cameo costumes based on characters from previous Tell games, as well as costumes based on characters from other series, such as the Xenosaga and Sergeant Frog. Also included is a scene skip feature, a team arena in the Coliseum, which also has new battles and modes together with pre-order bonuses, which are the Tales of the Abyss character costumes. The game also features connectivities with the Tales spin-off Tales of Versus for the PlayStation Portable. So as you can see, there's lots of content that is to be had with this PS3 version. So I don't see why we can't even get that version over here as well. So yeah, I would suggest that you support these guys and you know, go to their blogspot as well as their Facebook and Twitter pages and support them to the best of your abilities, because, you know, the PS3, I think it's been kind of, you know, going in the vein of what Microsoft is heading for with their games these days. So I think some JRPGs for that system can actually work well, and I know that Vesperia did really well on the Xbox 360, although it was considered an underrated title, but it was still a good sign to show that JRPGs had potential for, you know, a really powerful next-gen, you know, current-gen system as of now. Or if you want them on the Wii U, then, you know, you can support for that as well. But if you want the PS3 version, then have at it, guys. Now, I know there are some things that people may say, you know, these games, it may not make it over here, because I think I heard somewhere that Namco Bandai actually paid Microsoft to handle the translation, and it limited its sales to exclusivity of the title. So that may be a problem to why the game has not released over here, but I can imagine that Namco Bandai could work with a different third-party developer in terms of the translation, like Square Enix, or maybe Xseed Games, or Atlas, or Nipponichi Software America, or somebody of that nature who can, you know, do a really good job of handling the localization of an anime RPG. And I know those companies have a really big fondness of doing that. So yeah, they could definitely do that. Well, for Square, they may be jerks about their translation, but they'd actually do a really good job, you know, trying to get the sales up for the franchise, and it could also lead up to some partnership between Namco and Square Enix, but that's too early to say. Okay, so now that that's out of the way, but yeah, support Vesperia PS3, guys. They're going to need your full support, and I'm definitely in full support of this campaign, so yeah, make sure you go over there and see what you can do in order to participate in the campaign. And the other game that I wanted to talk about is Tales of Xillia. Now, this game is the upcoming 13th Mothership title, or main series title in the Tales series, and it's the first time that 2 artists from the Tales series collaborates together for one game. And of course, I'm talking about Kosuke Fujishima and Mutsumi Inomata. Now, Kosuke Fujishima, he works with Team Symphonia. Basically, he worked for the character designs on the games Tales of Fantasia, Tales of Symphonia, Tales of the Abyss, and Tales of Vesperia. While Inomata worked with Team Destiny. Basically, you might remember him doing the character designs for Tales of Destiny 1 and 2, and Tales of Eternia, as well as the upcoming Tales of Graces, which is bound to arrive over here in the West. But it probably won't be till sometime early next year. But yeah, that is definitely one that I think a lot of people should buy. If they have PS3s and they are looking for JRPGs, then yeah, show your full support in wanting to get that game over here. Now, from what I know about Tales of Xillia, there's some short information that Namco Tales Studios, or Namco Bandai, has put together about the game. And from what I know, this is the first Tales game to include 2 main playable characters with different scenarios. It's kind of the same thing as Star Ocean, the second story, or second evolution, to where you can choose to play as either Claude C. Kenny or Rena Lanford, or whatever her name is. But yeah, and there's different scenarios, and there's different party members, and I guess it's one of those things where they meet up together and they form one huge party at the end. But yeah, it's something like that, and they always manage to improve on the linear motion battle system, which is their main battle system for all the Tales series with some new ones, to improve the experience. And this game, its linear motion battle system is dubbed Double Raid, and basically it focuses on 2-character cooperative combat. And there's also some technical points that can be used in the game, and I'm guessing what this does, this game will have skills, kind of like Tales of Vesperia, to where you can have skills attached to weapons and armor, and the more tech points you gain from the battles, then you're liable to learn that skill to its full use without having to equip these certain weapons and armor and such. And there's also the assault counter, which is a newly introduced system which is used up in when performing normal attacks. And your attacks will remain connected as long as your AP is not 0. It is somewhat of a new form of chain capacity in a way, though attacks will only consume 1 AP, or 1 attack point, I'm guessing, per attack. An example, having 10 AP can have you perform 10 consecutive attacks. Now, there's also a link art system as compared to the other Tales games. This Mystic art system uses the cooperation of both fighters. So, in a nutshell, it's the same as the dual Mystic arts as the PS3 version of Tales of Vesperia. So, yeah, that's definitely a good sign right there. And for the first time in this series, this game, Tales of Xillia, you'll be able to experience the game through a behind-the-back viewpoint rather than just the standard overhead viewpoint. And buildings and structures and towns are actual size as compared to the character, as a part of the game's more lifelike and realistic experience. So, yeah, that's really a good sign right there. It seems like they're going for, like, a big production value, such as maybe Final Fantasy Versus 13, or, something really big along that nature. So, yeah, that's a really good sign. I really like that. And one other thing about Tales of Xillia that I do know is that the Japan Expo, or the Anime Expo that happened in Paris, France back on June 30th of 2011, Hideo Baba, the game's director or producer, I think, asked attendees, he showed a handful of new screenshots as well as a brand new trailer, but while there's no official announcement of a North American or European release of the game, he asked the fans if they wanted the game to be brought to their own territory in Europe, and it was met with really big applause. And I think there were also some American people there as well, so I believe that their amount of applause for wanting the game over here in the United States as much as Europe was met with really big really great feedback, let's put it that way. And also, the localization is further hinted at by the Tales series producer Makoto Yoshizumi, as he says the localization was possible if fan demand was strong enough. And that's the point for these two campaigns. We want the fan demand to be really strong enough for, both territories. So this is where, these are the two places where you need to go in order to get the games over here. Now, the name of the operation that for Tales of Xillia to get that game over here and for Europe, the official Twitter and Facebook accounts, they're called Operation 13. Basically, this is the operation to get the 13th Mothership Tales title over here in both regions. Now, I think also another thing that we need to do, in case if we really want those games to come over here, is that we need to show our support to Namco Bandai by buying both Tales of Graces F on the PS3 as well as Tales of the Abyss 3D when it comes out on the 3DS this fall. Yeah, if you buy those games, then it would show full support that you actually want more games to make it over here. And I know for a fact that Namco Bandai wants to be more consistent with localizing the Tales franchise over here, but it would really give us a great experience to see what all the games could do if they were released in all territories. I guarantee you that would definitely push sales in all territories to where this series will become really big in the long run. Especially if it wants to catch up there with the Final Fantasy and Dragon Quest franchises. Anyway, that's all I have to report on the weekend gaming update with me, Double RPG. So if you want Tales of Vesperia and Tales of Xillia to come over here in both North America and Europe, then be sure to go to their Facebook and Twitter accounts and learn what you can to try to support their campaigns and see what you can do to, get the word out to Namco Bandai that you really want those games to come over here, as much as I do. I'm definitely putting in my full support for this campaign, so you guys should do the same. Anyway, that's all I have to address with you on this weekend update. So anyway, take care of yourselves, gamers, and I shall return for the next 2 episodes of Tales of Symphonia and Tales of Fantasia with my own LPs of them, which should be arriving tomorrow morning. So anyway, take care of yourselves, gamers, and I'll see you tomorrow. Laters.